The obesity crisis, in my opinion, is not going to get better. I can see this trend coming from a mile away, and it stems into one central issue which I kind of touch on a lot, which is the culture and just the general attitude of Americans, which is that no one can tell me what to do. I can do as much, I can eat as much as I want, and there will be no consequences. However, like anything in life, there's always going to be consequences. Obviously, with, weight gain, or on top of that, just becoming obese too, especially. It's different to gain weight here and there. We all gain a pound here or there. But people who just don't care, there's going to be at least natural consequences, which is things like bad health, shortened lifespan, having to have, in very extreme circumstances, if you become fat enough, you have to get your limbs amputated. So, unfortunately, in my opinion, now I have a very, sort of out there opinion on the obesity crisis. But in my opinion, I think, I guess you could call it the gene for obesity. I think it'll just be fizzled out. I think, people who are obese and whatnot are just not going to reproduce, and, that wave of people, that wave, of genetic, stuff, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know what to call it, it'll just go away. Those people will basically, what I'm trying to say really is, obese people and people who become very fat, they're not going to learn their lesson, they're not going to change. And so, as a result, you as an individual who actually values fitness and practices what you preach, you just have to stand your ground. The best you can do is just educate yourself and others on physical fitness, health, and wellness the best that you can, and keep living your life. America is pretty much one of a few. Now, America is not the biggest country in the world as far as weight goes. It's not the most out of shape, but it's up there. I would say it's in the top 10 or close to that. But the entire world is not obese. There are countries, even whole countries, where most people are not out of shape, like Singapore, for example. And Singapore is a relatively developed country. I always say that's where the future of things is. Places like Singapore or Japan, places where they have their, at least, physical health in check, because physical health, in my opinion, is a huge influencer in other aspects of life, even mental health, in my opinion. I always say this: physical health is mental health. So, the main message of this video I'm trying to get out there is the obesity crisis is not going to get better. We need to stop acting like it's going to get better, and the few people who do practice physical fitness just need to keep trucking along.